How's it going, everybody? This is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And today we are officially kicking off reprint poll season. It's going to be very, very busy here for the next, oh my goodness, the next 2 months are going to be very busy. But as always, I can't do this alone. I am joined by two phenomenal people that did this with me last year, and today they are back to talk about epics that are out of print and showing you how you can vote and explaining all the rules. So first of all, to my right is Taylor Talks Comics. How are you, man?
Great. I'm doing great. I do love this stream. I love this poll and look forward to it every year. And just in celebration for it, this morning on my channel, I dropped my top 10 favorite epic collections.
Are any of those out of print?
A few of them are.
Okay, cool. And underneath us is none other than the epic Marvel podcast himself. What's up?
I wouldn't miss this for the world. Thank you for having me back and for putting all the work together behind the scenes. I did a little bit of this stuff trying to vet some of the books that are on the list and whatnot. But man, a hat tip to all the people who got this poll up and running. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I do have to go ahead and give some thanks. So James, the gentleman that has been helping me for years now, doing the actual poll and doing the behind the scenes of pulling the information and sending me the top and like the top 20. And then on our Patreon, we do unleash the entire list. If you're curious as to what like number 155 was. For anybody that likes those kind of things. There are a lot of books out of print. And also James, my buddy James Abel, who is just an all-around good guy and also helped with this year's reprint poll. Let me see if I'm forgetting. Dom of X, of course, who is my wonderful collaborator on Near Mint Condition. Did the Saturday live stream yesterday with Curtis. And Curtis, I was listening to it, dude. Thank you so much for explaining. I was trying to strangle my buddy Lars from across the. I was visiting my mom and I was driving, listening, and Lars was going on about the numbering things, and I was like, Lars, but the Scrooge library editions don't have volume numbers on them, and the reason why is because when they go out of print, people aren't looking for volumes 1 and 2. And the reason why we have epic collections, right? The numbers on the back. And then I think you brought up so many wonderful, wonderful points because you're coming from a publisher standpoint. And then I think somebody in the chat actually mentioned, what about the Fantagraphics Scrooge library collections by Carl Barton? Yeah. It is interesting, right? As collectors, we want everything to have a uniform look, but also like, I don't know, from publisher standpoints, like these books have to sell, so I get it.
It's a fascinating conversation and one that warrants like a full live stream for sure, because there's so many factors, and it's not just like you got to look at it from the consumer perspective and from the publisher perspective and such. And like after the live stream was over, we were talking backstage about the price point of these things too, and how it breaks down, like how much it actually costs publishers to print this kind of stuff. And it's like a lot of people just don't realize that publishers don't make very much on these books at all.
Well, I know that I've shared this many years ago to people watching. Like, Marvel did not want to reprint epic collections. You remember this? When you and I talked to David about it, and it was one of these things that they told me there is not much overhead. Like how much money they make is not very much for them to warrant. So he really went to bat to talk to the powers that be about reprinting them. And sure enough, I mean, we've been reprinting these books for goodness, going on 6-7 years now. And it started with the omnibus reprint poll, and then you reached out to me because your community of Epicureans wanted reprints of books, and that's exactly what we're here to do. We're here to try to help everybody out. Now, let's speak some numbers here. Last year, Marvel did say they're going to slow down on reprints last year, but they've done that in the past, and then they bring them back. Last year, I sent them a list of, I think, top 20, top 25. I can't remember if I did that with Omnis and Epics or vice versa. But out of the top 20, top 25 reprinted, or the books that people wanted reprinted, how many of those did we end up getting reprinted or will be reprinted when come January 2026?
man, I should have had this information ready to go.
I've got it for you, 'cause I have our
got
conversation. It's 9.
There were still a number of them. I think there is still like maybe 8 on the list or so that aren't on the schedule at all.
Yeah. So the good news is I did have a conversation with David through email, and he was looking at that list again, and they were trying to kind of schedule out 2026. So he was like, thank you so much for sending me the list. I think it's going to help out, where to put reprints and what reprints. But I told them we were going to do this today, and there's going to be another reprint list so they can look at both of them to see exactly. So my point is, if you voted last year and your book didn't show up and it made it in the top 25, make sure to vote this year for the same book. That way, they know to kind of double, like you're doubling down on something that you want reprinted. And the other thing I always like to remind people is vote for the books you want. Don't vote because everybody wants a book, like somebody's yelling aloud, like, hey, this needs to be reprinted. Vote for the books you want. Every time this happens, some people get upset. Like, I can't believe y'all are voting for X-Men or Spider-Man. You're wasting your votes, because nothing is a sure thing when it comes to reprints, right? I understand what it's like to be a collector and missing out on something. I don't know. They came out like 2 years ago and everybody has it, but I want it. And I want to feel just as cool as everybody else does. So vote for the books you want, not what everybody else is telling you to vote for. If it's something obscure and you're like, what the hell is Kill Raven? I don't even know what that is. I want X-Men. Or just vote with your heart and vote for the books you want. Try not to vote more than once, please. I know I say this every year, and every year we end up catching 2 people. Actually, last year I think it was 2 people. And James went through it, and sure enough, we just started getting rid of those other votes that you're voting for the same books, right? And you're not even really trying to hide your IP that well. Omnibus vote: Wolverine Volume 1, Infinity Gauntlet, X-Men, Jim Lee. Thank you.
You're on the wrong stream here, buddy.
You're a month early.
That's okay. Actually, I do have that scheduled. Really quick, because people have been asking when is the Omnibus reprint poll. I can give you my schedule for April. It's super freaking busy, but that's okay. The reprint poll we're kicking off today is the Marvel Epic reprint polls. This will stay up until Sunday, April 6th. So you got 7 days to vote. End of day. I will announce the top 20 come Friday, April 11th. Then on April 14th, Peter, Taylor, and I did tell Taylor. I was like, did I tell you? Yeah. On April 14th at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, we are kicking off the Marvel Omni reprint poll. That one you are given, I believe, that one ends on the 22nd. Well, it doesn't matter. I'll explain all this and that, where I'm announcing it on the 25th. And then on the 28th at 6 p.m., we're doing the Tiger Eyes poll. So that kind of gives you an idea of how this works, and it gives people enough time to vote. So just remember that. And,
sorry. I had a quick question. Since we've started the Epic reprint poll, have they reprinted any epics that were not on the list?
They tend to do that from time to time, like usually volume 1s, right, Curtis?
Yes, yeah, we got a bunch of volume 1s that weren't on the list. And the Star Wars ones, they've been reprinting those at however they decide. They haven't been following the list for those ones necessarily. And I think
they did for Old Republic. I think that was one that was.
Well, yeah, I mean, when they started the Star Wars reprints, they were just going in the actual order that they were released originally, and coincidentally, Old Republic was on the reprint poll list, but then we got some others that weren't. But I mean, they needed reprinting anyway, so it's not like it was a waste. But they still did their own thing there. And we've had a couple of just restocks as well over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
That were just like, one of the more recent books, I think it was Legacies. Is that what
the Star Wars?
The X-Men? X-Men Epic Collection Legacy. That one got a restock.
Yeah, that got a restock. Mm-hmm.
So that one got more. More copies are out there.
Okay. It just seemed to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that the Epic reprints more so follow the poll than omnibuses. Like omnibuses, I feel like reprints, Marvel will pick and choose sometimes, like random omnibuses that didn't make the list, but they want to reprint it for a certain reason. But it seems like Epics mostly are what's on the list.
It's actually the same thing. Every year they either print just about everything, like 90%, or they print like this year like 45% of both, because like they slow down on Omni reprints as well. So I mean, they're pretty much similar in the way what they end up reprinting.
Yeah,
they don't really do a lot
faithful.
of restocks. They don't, like, much like DC, they don't really do a lot of restocks. I think the latest restock that they're doing is Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil Omnibus Volume 2. Now for Omnis, they only restock the standard edition. They don't ever restock the direct market edition. And I am going to show you all how to vote. So first of all, we are going to show you what is out of print, because there are quite a number of books that are out of print, in case you weren't aware of. And if you see or if you don't see something on the list, please let us know, because that is something we can add to. This happens every year. We miss something just because we're human. We're not AI bots that go and see what is currently out of print and or in print. And it has become really difficult to keep an eye on this too, because we have different distributions. It used to be simple. You used to just go to Diamond, and Diamond would tell you exactly what stock it had. It was amazing. I know, like a lot of people are like, oh, down with Diamond. I get it. But Diamond, there was a lot of wonderful things that Diamond did too, such as like, hey, there's only 30 copies of this Epic left. And now we don't have that, because there's like 3 different distributors and nobody keeps an eye on what's what. So
yeah, so keep that in mind, because if you see like some random seller on Amazon is selling a copy for undercover, that doesn't mean that it's still in print. Like we used Amazon, we used all the major retailers, 3-lettered retailers like IST, CGN, OPB. We looked everywhere we could to see if it was in stock.
On Diamond too.
And
Diamond,
also, and also, like, if a retailer has it in stock, it doesn't mean that it's in stock everywhere.
Right.
That means that distribution is out, and whatever the retailer has in stock, that's it. So I need a volume 1 of Cloak and Dagger. Now, this isn't something new. This is just restocks. So remember that. Like, reprints is what we're doing today. I don't know. Marvel has a, like, unlike Omnis, where they're like, what do you know, where I get asked, like, what do you think people want? Like, with Epic Collections, it's like they have a plan. And they've got a plan, like, in 2026. Now, that plan is always, you know, throwing a curveball when movies come out, or some characters getting a new series, and, you know, things change. So how big is the list? How big is the list, Taylor, this year? How many books are out of print?
I don't know the number of books, sorry, but it doesn't seem too much larger than last year, to be honest. It seemed like I was taking books off and adding books on the list as far as the slideshow goes.
As you know, especially whenever you get new readers or new collectors, that they tend to go in and out. All right, so let's go ahead and actually take a look at the books. This is what we do every year, and we're doing this the same way. We're going to look at the books that are currently out of print, again, from a distribution level. So, and if you see something that you're like, wait a second, what about this book? By all means, please let us know. And then I'm going to show you all how to vote. Comprende? Okay, let's rock. So, Epic Collection Reprint poll. Thank you, Taylor, for putting the slideshow together.
Yes,
we're going to be looking at the books that are Amazing Spider-Man. So volume 1, 3, 7, 8, 20, 24, and 26 are the ones that are currently out of print from a distribution level. Again, you may be able to find some of these at your local comic book store. You may be able to find some of these at In Stock Trades, Tales of Wonder, wherever. But once they're gone, they're gone. So remember that. That's something to keep in mind. Yes, thank you, Joe. Hit that like button. Much obliged, my friend. I hope you're doing well, brother.
One quick thing about the slideshow too, as we're going through, there's a miscellaneous slide where it has like if a certain character only had like 1 or 2 volumes, I put it on there. And so if we go through the slides, and they are alphabetical, and miscellaneous is in the M's. So if we go through and you feel like we skipped a character, just wait till that miscellaneous slide pops up.
I want to say I love talking about. By the way, you know, if you want to look at the list later, I'm sure the list will be available whenever this goes live, and if you don't want to watch a long video. But I love talking about the history of these things with my friends, and it is really interesting to see just how many times some of these books have been reprinted. Like Goblin's Last Stand, I remember that, man. That came and went like that. Like it was out of print before it even sold at the stores. And then the restock of it, was it a couple of years ago, Curtis, or did we got a restock of it a couple of years ago, right? Of volume 7?
Yep.
And then that came and went.
Yeah, really fast.
And
that's
how many
one that
votes
I think that's one that's always at the top of the list. I think is Goblin's Last Stand.
And that is something else too. Whenever they reprint these, it's not the biggest print run. It is a smaller print run than new books. So if you're interested in something and you see it that it's coming out and it's a reprint, make that a priority if you so wish. How many votes do we get this year? Josh was also asking that. We are getting 5 votes this year like we did last year. Nice try, Sasmer. Nice try, my friend.
So someone was saying in the chat I saw earlier that Volume 1 has not been reprinted before. Is that true?
No, it's been reprinted.
It's been reprinted, yeah.
Twice.
Okay, I was gonna say I saw that. I'm like, that can't be right.
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 4, Goblin Lives, and Amazing Spider-Man 23. Can while I go through the slide, can you check that, Taylor? Let me actually I can actually reach out to. Okay, let's do this live. We're doing it live, Aaron. I hope you're doing well, brother. I'm gonna double check to make sure before we put them on here.
Yeah, because we can update the slide or the poll, right?
Yeah, that's why I want people to chime in.
You say Goblin Lives?
It's Goblin Lives' Epic Collection Volume.
That's available on Amazon right now for $24.77.
I'm gonna double check to see if it's available at the distribution.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like Diamond has it available.
Yeah, I can check that. PRH is the one that's really hard to check, so I'm having somebody check for me.
And Hero Killers looks like it's available on Amazon as well. Which again, that doesn't mean that it could just mean the stock that Amazon has is still, there, but
what were the titles again?
Hero Killers and Goblin Lives.
Yeah, they can only check with the titles. Even when I get okay. They're gonna find out for me. Thank you, Aaron. All right. Derek, do you mind checking PRH? That's the one that's a pain in the butt, man. Thank you. And of course, Lunar also distributes these books. And I don't know. That's the other one that I'm not sure of how to check. But anyway, those are ones, and we'll be happy to add the other ones if they are indeed out of print. Avengers. Let's go. Oh my gosh. Volumes 2, 3, 4. Oh my gosh, 6. 5 is the one that I remember getting a reprint. That's the one with the Black Panther, right? This Battlefield Earth. 7.
So Marvel had been really good at reprinting the Spider-Man stuff, and Spider-Man books typically have really topped the list a lot of the times in the past reprint polls. And so Marvel's like, well, you want Spider-Man? Here's Spider-Man. So they've been really, really good, which is why the number of Spider-Man on the list is quite low compared to this one, Avengers.
Vote for Spider-Man every year, right? Like I say, vote for what you want. X-Men and Spider-Man always comes at the top when it comes to like reprints of these books. Holy moly, I had no idea that Avengers Final Threat was on our list, right? Last year too. Curtis?
Yeah, it got a reprint, but it's out again, it seems.
Do you have do you happen to have that list, Curtis, with you from last year, the Epic list? I want to make sure.
Like the top 25?
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find it. Yeah, sure.
My man. All right. So these are the ones that are out of print for Avengers. My gosh. Yesterday's Operation Galactic Storm. I want to say Galactic Storm had a couple of printings too. That's the second printing of it.
But just in the top 10, we've got 8 of the top 10 are out of print. 8 of the top 10 volumes, yeah.
That is a lot of Avengers, man. Wow. All right. And what is next? Avengers West Coast. Volume 1, How the West Was Won. Volume 3, Tales to Astonish. And Volume 5, Darker Than Scarlet, which is the John Byrne era of stuff.
Yeah, and last year, Volume 2 was the big one. And I think that got voted high, and I know we got a reprint for it for sure. And I think it was because it was voted pretty high. But then one replaced it as the one that's out of print for the early ones.
All right. So according to, yes, both of them are out of print at every distribution level. Taylor, do you have access to edit that
on the poll?
Yeah.
I do. I don't know if I know how though.
It's pretty easy. You add them. The only hard part is you have, like, when you add them, they go straight to the bottom. So you have to like manually move them up. So you add Amazing Spider-Man Volume 4, and thank you, Aaron, for pointing that out.
Let me see if I could try.
And if you need help,
Spider-Man.
Let me know if you need help as I go through these. Black Panther. So volumes, the first 3, Panther's Rage, Revenge of the Black Panther, and Panther's Prey are all out of print.
The only 3, right? We don't have any more.
They didn't. No, you're right. They didn't do them. They didn't do any of the Don McGregor stuff from Marvel Comics Presents, huh?
Yeah, we don't have like Christopher Priest.
No. Wait, no. Panther's Prey is the Don McGregor stuff, right?
That's the conclusion to the
Don
McGregor.
That's in here.
That's the conclusion of the McGregor stuff.
But
we don't have any. But Priest, Priest and anything after we don't have.
I don't know if that would be modern. Maybe Ta-Nehisi Coates would be the modern, and Priest would still be classic.
What's Marvel Knights? Do we have any Marvel Knights era stuff in Epic? And is it in classic?
Yeah, Black Widow. Black Widow's modern era just came out.
So then that
or is coming out.
Maybe that's the indicator that Marvel Knights stuff will be modern.
It's all over the place, honestly. Like
I know. Oh yeah, right.
Try to guess. It's really difficult to guess. What was Daredevil's modern era? Is it Bendis or is it Kevin Smith?
Bendis, right?
It's both.
So Kevin Smith, that is Marvel Knights. So 1990, you're looking at 1998, 1999.
So then we have 2 Marvel Knights eras that have been indicated as modern then.
That's true. Yeah, Daredevil is there. I was just thinking it's not the start, so we haven't got that first of all.
Speaking of Black Widow, both of her classics are out of print. Beware the Black Widow and the Coldest War. A lot of artwork in here from George Perez.
And those were both on the list last year. Not in the top 25 necessarily, but they're both out of print last year.
Speaking of top 25, Curtis, did you find the list?
No, I'm looking for it. I don't know where it is. If someone out there has that list, let me know.
Let me see.
I bet Philip has it somewhere.
Let me see if I can find it. And we are going to, while I do that, we're going to be looking at Captain America. Curtis, take us through these while I look for that list.
Let's see. Captain America, the early volumes, 1, 2, and 4 are all. So that number 3 got a reprint recently, but 1, 2, and 4 are out of stock. And I think there's a good chance we'll see number 1 again because they seem to like to reprint number 1s. Number 4 is really sought after, so I think that one will probably get to close to the top of the list there. Number 9 and 10. Let's see. Bloodstone Hunt had a reprint recently, and it's already on the list again. So that's a pretty popular one. But all of these ones, yeah, this is a lot of Captain America.
All right, I found the list. So they printed 1, 2, 3, and we've announced some. And please correct me if we haven't announced these, Curtis. So the ones that they haven't announced were Goblin's Last Stand, Amazing Spider-Man 7, Silver Surfer 9, Resurrection, Amazing Spider-Man 20, Cosmic Adventures. Did they do that one?
Not recently, no.
Okay. Iron Man 10, Enemy Within. And
yeah, we got that one, didn't we? Iron Man 10? I can't remember now. Holy cow. There's so many Epic collections to keep track of.
Well, there's only 300, yeah.
No, there's over 400 now.
Hey, that's still over 300. Don't correct me.
That's true. That's well over 300.
Okay. And let us know if we did get one like Curtis thinks. Bishop's Crossing we announced. Punisher 3 Kingpin Rules. Avengers 16 Under Siege. Amazing Spider-Man.
That one is coming out.
That one is coming out? Okay, good. Thank you. Amazing Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man No More. Thor 5, Fall of Asgard. Daredevil 20, Purgatory and Paradise. Silver Surfer 1, When Calls Galactus. Punisher 5, Jigsaw Puzzle. Avengers 23, Fear of the Reaper. Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, Volume 1. X-Men 21, Executioner Song.
Fantastic. Yeah, we still need that one.
Fantastic Four 2, Master Plan of Dr. Doom. X-Men 2, Lonely Are the Hunted. X-Men 19. No, that one just came out. Iron Man 16, War Games. Star Wars Legends, Volume 1, Legacy. And then Daredevil 14, Heart of Darkness. Those are ones that from our top. I sent them the top 25, by the way. I just looked at my email.
Omar, I apologize. I can't figure out how to add anything to this.
Woo! This is gonna be fun. We'll do it live. All right, Daredevil, you guys take over while I go and add those in here.
Okay.
Talk amongst yourselves, everybody.
So Daredevil's been really well collected. We have pretty much everything but the Frank Miller era, right, Curtis? That's been printed.
Right. Yeah.
We are getting one of the
Yeah,
Frank
as
Miller
far as the
era.
classic stuff is going, for sure. It's just got that small little gap right there that we got to close. As far as reprints are concerned, they've actually reprinted a bunch of Daredevil titles, and so that's why this list is smaller as well. Most recently, we got the Daredevil Volume 15 reprinted, and actually, I think that was 2023. So actually, that was a while back as well. But it's not on the list, which means you can still get it, I think. We just got, huh?
Well, I'm sorry. What
Pardon
volumes cover? What volumes cover the Anna Sinti run? Is it are 20 and 21 both?
No, Anna Senti is Heart of Darkness.
Okay,
and
14.
It comes with the claws.
Okay. So 2 of those are out because I know that's been a hard run to put together in Epics over the years because it seems like 1 or 2 volumes will be in and out of print.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if like the Anna Senti, did the Omnis already come out? The Anna Senti Daredevil
the first
Omni?
volume did.
Okay, and I don't know if that affects whether or not people sell off their copies and it brings the price down on the aftermarket. I have no idea.
That could be true. The early stuff we have a lot of Gene Colan artwork in the 3 and 5. I do love that artwork if anybody's looking for a reason to read early Daredevil. I know usually people say like the beginning, you should start with Frank Miller and go from there, but I really do love the early stuff with the Gene Colan artwork.
Gene Colan's always a treat. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always a treat.
And he had a pretty long run on Daredevil.
You can't read some of those early volumes because they're out of stock.
That's right. That's right. But, vote if you want these. Vote if you are wanting all of the Daredevil.
Yeah. Going Out West is a great volume. Volume 5. That one's really good. I'd vote for that one.
Especially if you're a
move on
Black
to the
Widow
next
fan.
Defenders, which I just read volume 3. Go ahead, guys.
This one's interesting because for the longest time, these were the only Defenders volumes we had. Were these later volumes? Then we finally started getting printings of the first 3 volumes. Now I think we have. I think the 3rd volume.
Yeah, volume 3 comes out this week, actually.
Right.
It comes
so we're
out
finally getting the early stuff.
And so that's kind of why, and there was like a 4-year gap or something between releases of this old Defender stuff, these volumes and then the stuff that they're doing now, which is why volumes 1 and 2 are still in print because they're more recent. These ones, Six Fingered Hand is the first Defenders volume that ever came out years ago now. I don't think we've had any Defenders volumes reprinted yet, so people are anxious for this era. They want it back.
Yeah, this was an interesting one because they came out with these came out in order, starting with 6. Like it was like 6, 7, 8, 9, the way they printed them, and then they finally got us 1, 2, and 3. So closing that gap. But if you're a big Defenders fan, there's some good stuff in here. Yeah, some good stuff from J.M. DeMatteis and Keith Giffen.
Yes, that's this era right here. These volumes is the DeMatteis, and I think who takes over after him? Is it Gillis? Peter Gillis?
I think so. I think he's now. Yeah, he has the last volume, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, moving these things is very tedious. So here, I'll let you all go next, and Dr. Strange is next.
People are asking for the link for this poll. We don't have it yet because we are using this live stream to make sure that we have everything ready. We're getting your input as well if we've missed anything and such. So we'll give you the link after the live stream is done or at the end of the live stream.
No, here, the way we do this every year is we talk about the books that are out of print, and then I refresh the description of the video. And in the description of the video, once you refresh it, it will have the link to the poll, and we stay on for a little bit to see how it goes. And
nice.
The poll link will be available when we say it's available, so just keep that in mind. we're talking about the books that are out of print right now. For
this is both a kickoff party plus our little making sure everything's good to go before the poll goes live.
And right now I'm doing things live, moving things in the back, which is very awful. It's a pain in the ass.
I'm surprised to see Doctor Strange Volume 1 here because it recently got a reprint. And it was because that was one of the original quad books, the ones that were made by a printer who did a terrible job. And so it got its
shout out to Versailles, Kentucky.
Didn't it? Or maybe it didn't.
Thanks a lot, Curtis.
That's a great volume though. And I think when people, because there's got to be collectors that only collect like certain volumes. I think it's one of the beauties of the line of Epic Collections is that you don't need to collect every single one. That one's the entirety of the Ditko run. So it doesn't surprise me that people, track that one down and purchase it. And that is one I feel like should be, I don't want to say evergreen because that's not really a thing, but kept in print often. But then a lot of this early stuff too, like Separate Reality, Alone Against Eternity, have a lot of great, Gene Colan again, the aforementioned, the Frank Bruner artwork in there.
I don't see it on my list. Maybe it didn't get reprinted. I thought it did, but maybe it didn't. It's still on the list.
Years ago when it got reprinted, the first one did.
Okay.
I think it was around the time the second movie came out. But yeah, because it came out and then they reprinted the omnibus and then they reprinted the Epic Collection. So sort of, right?
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, it was 2021. It was reprinted. Wow. Okay, so it's due for another go for sure.
Oh my god, I'm about to leave this stupid thing alone. I hope we don't have anything else to add. Excalibur. I know there's a few of these that are out of print.
1, 2, 3, and 4. Those first 4. I think is that the entirety of all the work that Alan Davis did?
No. Davis comes back later on.
Oh, that's right.
But it is the entirety of Chris Claremont and Alan Davis, and then we get Scott Lobdell in there.
Yeah, so Volume 4 is half of Alan Davis's second run.
Okay. But yeah, the first 4 volumes, I mean, that's quite a run there. And these were all printed in order. These first 4 at least, right?
These first 4 were printed in order, so that's kind of why you see them out of print at the same time. They're all the oldest ones, the oldest volumes that they released.
And then they started skipping around because we don't have. Do we have 5 yet, or do we? Where's the first gap?
Yeah, 5 is called Days of Futures Yet to Come.
Okay, I just got that one then.
That's the Alan Davis stuff when he leaves the book.
Actually, that one's scheduled. That one came out last December.
That one's out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no Excalibur scheduled for 2025. I just realized.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's not much left, right? What's left from Excalibur?
Volumes 6 and 7, just 2 volumes.
Oh, okay.
But still, it would be nice to kind of get those ones going.
I know we just finished out we finished out New Mutants finally, so we needed one of these other mutant spin-offs to be finished up too.
Yeah.
It'll come. We still need to finish out the Excalibur Omnis too, so I'm sure it will come.
Is this the closest mutant spin-off title to closing the gaps?
Gen X, I think, is closer.
Oh, Gen X has one more volume.
Right? New Mutants is done.
Well, New Mutants, I mean, after New Mutants.
X-Force has 2 more volumes as well. They need volume 5 and 6. Actually, no, they need a volume 9 as well, so they're not quite finished either.
What about X Factor? No, X Factor we still have.
X Factor we need a lot of the same things we need in omnibus format too.
That's right.
You need volume 2 and volume 5 and 6.
Volume 2 is the one I've been waiting for forever.
But it's Generation X is 1 volume away. It's the next X title to
which I think we announced, right, Curtis?
No. We announced the second to last volume.
Okay, got it.
I'm just excited because I collect all mutant related things and epics. So
count Deadpool as mutant related because I think it only needs 1 more volume and then it's done.
Yeah,
classic Deadpool.
I collect him too, and we're getting our first modern Deadpool soon.
Yeah,
so that's cool. Fantastic Four. This is a big one. We finally got the Coming of Galactus reprinted, which I feel like that's one that can be kept in print forever,
all the time.
Yeah. That's like one of the best ones. That made my top 10 list of my video actually. But
Good.
volume 1 and 3, obviously. Well, no, yeah, volume 1 and 3 are in print still. Okay, so then the rest of the Lee Kirby run looks like are out of print. Yeah, so.
Yeah, all of those ones are going to be tough to keep in print because people love the Kirby era, especially. So,
For sure.
Mystery the Black Panther's been reprinted before, so it's out again. It looks like. Let's see here.
The
All
new
in the
Fantastic
Family.
Four. New Fantastic Four recently got a reprint, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's out as well.
But it always has a small reprint, right? Like the number.
Right. Yeah, of course. Yes, but it's just interesting that it went out of print again so fast.
It's Arthur Adams drawing a bunch of kaiju, right? And
I know. I love that. That trilogy of issues is amazing. Strange Days is what we thought was going to be the last one, but now there's indications that Heroes Return could be maybe considered classic, right?
We don't have a modern Fantastic Four yet, do we?
We don't, but I think we always thought that Strange Days was going to be the cutoff because that's right before Heroes Reborn. But now we have Heroes Return in classic epics. In Captain America, is that?
Yeah, but again, we don't like it's weird because it's case by case, right? Like when you brought up Marvel Knights,
yeah,
I was like, yeah, that's modern for some, but then like other things aren't until 2000. And then you've got the case of Spider-Girl, which is even before that. And then Wolverine just doesn't give a crap. It just keeps going past Onslaught and Heroes Reborn, Heroes Return. And we are thinking Greg Rucka might be the beginning of Wolverine's modern era epic collection. Yeah, it's I don't know who decides or how it's decided, but it is really interesting.
It is.
To see how it all comes about. Like
we have the 4 complete collections of Fantastic Four Heroes Return. Or is there 5? 4?
There's 4 of them, yeah.
4 of them, okay. So this could be a potential volume 26, 27, 28, 29.
Oh, they could totally, yeah. And we joked about the adding issue 13 to those.
I mean, that would be insane, but
for reprints, you couldn't reprint them.
That'd be insane, but also amazing.
They're not that good.
They're not, but it's just one of those things, you know.
I would be all over that. Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
Awful stories. Yeah, the list here, holy crap, that's a lot of Fantastic Four for having a Fantastic Four movie coming out. But again, they're not aware of what's out of print, right?
Yeah, and similar to Daredevil with Frank Miller and similar to Thor with Simonson, the Byrne run is like the big gap in Fantastic Four that's never been printed. So
we have some of his stuff but it was before he took over the book, right? It was
right
stuff that
when he's just the artist, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like right around the time that Sienkiewicz was an artist on a few of those issues and stuff.
Yes, and then was Perez, I think, was doing some of the stuff in there too.
Yeah.
But we do have some of the stuff. It just seems like a lot of books. Mm-hmm. But Fantastic Four, you know, it's a title that it doesn't get a lot of love like Daredevil and Spider-Man and X-Men. I get like Daredevil's another one I forget about that just has such a I don't know what it is about people just wanting more and more Daredevil. And lately, I remember one year, man, it was a lot of Moon Knight. You remember that year, Curtis?
Yeah, Moon Knight.
That was great.
As far as what's out of print, we only have one volume of Moon Knight out of print.
Just an obscure character that I thought was obscure. Like people were just like, no, we need reprints. All right, I'll let you guys take over. I'm still working on this stupid thing. I'm almost done though. With
Incredible Hulk, we have volume 1 is in print, but then we have volumes 2 through 7 out of print. And then 14, 19, and 22.
So these early volumes 2, 3, and 4, and I think 5 now, I'm constantly seeing people ask for reprints of those ones. In fact, they might be the ones that I see asked for the most is Incredible Hulk 2, 3, and 4.
More so than I think Thor?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
I mean, I do see Thor number 5 a lot as well, but these ones I think come up in conversation a lot. So I think I'm guessing that we're going to see a lot of this early Hulk topping the list.
That is one thing we always do. We always try to guess what's on the list. Hey, Hero Killers was on this list. God bless America! I just did all that work and it was on the list.
Oh shoot! Is that my fault?
It didn't make.
And so is Amazing Spider-Man 4: Goblin Lives.
Oh my gosh! That's my fault. Then I'm sorry, Omar.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I should have checked. It's okay. I only did one. So, All right, let's keep going. It's okay. We got it. Iron Man. Holy crap! I'm gonna check these. Go ahead, Curtis. While I do a double check.
Iron Man. We've seen a couple of reprints, but nothing really substantial from Iron Man. They haven't really paid a whole lot of attention. It's funny that Iron Man, he's very popular in movies and such, but when you talk about the classic Iron Man volumes, like people don't put as much emphasis on these as they do with like Daredevil or Fantastic Four and such. And so I think that's reflected also in the people who want reprints. There just aren't as many out there. In fact, the Iron Man Volume 16 War Games isn't even available digital. It's the only Epic Collection that is not digitally available for some reason, whatever it is.
Is Ghost Rider one out of print?
No, there's 2 Ghost Riders out of print, and they're in the miscellaneous slide.
Okay,
you'll see them later.
Thank you.
Yeah, but yeah, you're exactly right. We just got a big announcement for Iron Man Omnibus, though, and not that that'll affect the. I think Omar always reiterates that David Gabriel says the Omnibus prints and the Epic prints are 2 different audiences, so they don't affect each other. But I think that's volumes 16 and 17 would be in that Omnibus, if I'm.
Yes, yeah, that's right. War Games and War Machine.
Yeah, so that's a pretty cool omnibus that's coming out.
And again, the omnibus does have a big gap, though. Like, it's going Armor Wars 2, and then the what is that? The Armor Wars comic from 2019.
Okay, so
it skips over the Denny O'Neil era, which is volume 10 and 11.
So it's like an event omni, really, than more of a chronological
type
deal.
Yep. All right, let's go to the next one. Luke Cage, Power Man. Luke Cage Volume 1. Volume 2 is still in print. And then Power Man and Iron Fist Volumes 1, 2, and 3. And that's when the title changed to Power Man and Iron Fist. Don't forget your ROM. ROM Epic Collection, because that's the only way to get a particular issue. Hold on. Hulk Volume 13 is out of print. Was that on the list? Going great. I'll double check before I do all that work. That is not.
Yeah, please do.
Iron Man
3 is Crossroads, I think.
What's that, Curtis?
Volume 13 is Crossroads.
I'll double check. I'm gonna double check the list before we get to voting. So you guys talk about Iron Man, and I'll do all the little behind the scenes work.
Just a reminder, if you're just joining us, that we don't have the reprint poll up yet. We're using this live stream to make sure that we have all of our ducks in a row before we hit it live. So that'll be in a little while.
Like adding things last minute. It's not on the list, so I'm going to double check it's officially out of print. You all go ahead.
I think we're on the next one, though, Omar.
You done with Iron Man? Okay. Luke Cage and miscellaneous. Here we go.
All right, so here's all the random volumes that have like 1 or 2 volumes to them that didn't get their own slide. Carnage, Volume 1, Generation X 1 and 2. Ghost Rider, 2 Volume 1s for that one, because we have the Ghost Rider Classic Era Volume 1, and as well as the Danny Ketch Volume 1. We're both out of print. Killraven. That's an obscure title. Only has 1 volume, 1 and done in that series. So if you want that, which I think is an underrated one. You got a lot of cool P. Craig Russell and Neil Adams artwork in there. Marvel 2-in-1 Volume 1. That's been reprinted, hasn't it?
Yep.
That's had a reprint once before.
Yeah, that's the one that like was astonishing how skinny it got in the second reprint.
But it was actually the very first volume was using overly bulky paper.
Oh yeah.
And so the first volume, the first printing of that one was thicker than it should have been.
Which I was happy with the skinnier volume because it, shelf space. And it's not really, the paper quality is not that bad. Moon Knight, of all the volumes that we just talked about them printing, only volume 3, a continuation of the Sienkiewicz era, is out of print.
Which is my favorite volume of the series. I really like that one. Yeah, and it's also had a reprint before, so it's out of stock again.
That's when Sienkiewicz really goes out of like his Neil Adams kind of pastiche artwork and goes into what we know of as Bill Sienkiewicz.
Yeah, and it's remarkable.
Oh, it's so good.
Silver Surfer. It's alphabetical order. He put Taylor just put this miscellaneous, so it's M.
Yeah, we'll get to the S's soon.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet. And somebody was saying, and Hulk is out of print, by the way, so I have to add that. So you guys.
Okay. Keep on. And then Namor, we don't have a volume 2 for that series yet, but volume 1 of his early appearances is out of print. So
Curtis, was the name of that Hulk, or what was the number of Hulk?
I think it's 13.
13.
Okay. Go ahead, gentlemen.
Sergeant Fury, that was one that we had a huge gap in a number of years before we got another volume of that one.
10 years, I think.
Yeah, so volume 1 is out of print, and I just saw someone post on the Epic Facebook group that it's going for crazy prices on eBay.
Yeah, and then that's actually one that I don't know. I think the reason why that they took so long to bring us a volume 2 is that it's just not that popular of a title, and so they were hanging on to those volumes for a long time. It took a long time.
You know how we got that volume 2, right?
Yeah.
You remember? I think I told you.
Yeah.
It was because it was the anniversary. That is the only reason we got a volume 2.
And it was a last-minute addition to the schedule.
Yep, it was the last-minute addition. Because people were like, "Where's the omnibus?" And I was like, "Guys, I don't think that's gonna come." Like,
we need to get some Nick Fury, you know, not modern era, but Silver Age, Bronze Age, Nick
Ages
Fury.
of Shield, yeah.
Yeah, we need that stuff in.
We've had it in omnibus format, but that's out of print as well.
Yeah, but there's
if it could come out in epics, that would be wonderful.
There's still an entire run of that era that's not been in omnibus, even that takes place after that first one. And then we have our only modern era epic on this entire list of today that we'll see. Yeah, the only modern era epic is Spider-Man. Yeah, Spider-Man Deadpool.
That's amazing.
Volume 1, Isn't It Bromantic?
Oh my gosh.
And then Venom Volume 1 and 2, which I'm sure Phil is stoked to see that those went out of print.
I wore my Venom shirt just for Phil today.
I know. I saw that little troll job.
Is he here? I haven't seen. I've been busy moving this stupid thing around. I think Circle Chase is out of print. I think it must be okay, that I'll have to double check because I did not see that on the list either. And if that's out of print, I gotta do more.
Which Venom #1 wasn't that told to us that was the best-selling epic ever?
Yes.
Yeah. So that going out of print and being the best-selling, you know,
Deadpool 1's on the list. Was it not on this list?
I must have left it off.
On our list.
It's on this list though, so we're good on that. Good. All right, I'm gonna move on to the next slide. Miss Marvel.
Her only 2 volumes that we have of the classic era Miss Marvel.
And it finishes out her run too.
Yeah. Which I think both of those were on the reprint poll last year. I don't know how they finished, but they were both on the slide last year.
I don't think they finished very high.
Right.
No, because there was an omnibus too, but I can't remember if the omnibus is in print.
I feel like these 2 volumes and the omnibus were both liquidated because I feel like I found copies of the omnibus and these 2 volumes, which is all the same content. Like,
yeah, they went really heavy with the Miss Marvel reprints when the movie came out, and then people didn't seem to care about it as much as they thought.
Now, this is of course Carol Danvers, not Kamala.
Right.
Kamala Khan. Okay. New Mutants. Speaking of mutants, Sudden Death, Curse of the Valkyries is the very first one.
Yeah, so like we said, New Mutants with 8 volumes, it's totally done as far as printing goes, but it looks like the last 4 volumes are out of print now. So
this is when they were doing. I remember buying Curse of the Valkyries because they were doing something really brilliant. They were doing the classic New Mutants trade paperbacks, and then all those led into the omnis that were event omnis. So if you were a completist and mixed and match your trade paperbacks, your omnis, your oversized hardcovers, and this came out, this was the stuff that hadn't been collected. So that was such a freaking amazing move from Marvel. Like, they were like, okay, we've done all the classics. Odds are people have those books. So let's start New Mutants with something they need. And they gave us Curse of the Valkyries, and son of a bitch, it worked. Because I was like, I had all these classics, and if you look at my old video of reading orders, you'll see all those classics there long before they announced omnis. And then the oversized hardcovers where you can find the rest of the books leading up to Curse of the Valkyries. And then, of course, that leads into Cable and New Mutants, and the rest is history. Very, very cool that they did that.
And they're still they're still doing that too. We saw that with Spider-Girl, right? They continued that on after the complete collections.
The complete collections. Mm-hmm.
So I love that they do that. Like, some people complain because they don't match spines or whatever, but it's nice to have that continuation in some sort of format so you can read it.
Yeah, I think it was very. I mean, that's what they did with the very first Epic collection. Right? Yeah, Iron Man. I thought that was
exactly.
That was a smooth move. Like, oh, wait, those books haven't been collected in omnibus format. I'll just get this as a placeholder.
That's one thing that drew my eye to the Epic Collection in at first, because I wanted to have the entirety of the first volume of Fantastic Four on my shelf in some format, whether it's omnibus or epics, and which I'm
if you mix and match, you do, right? Especially if you have Masterworks.
Yeah. So, well, I don't have Masterworks. That's the one format I didn't get, but
yeah, it's pretty pricey. Curtis, does it surprise you that these are out of print? Cable, End of the Beginning, Sudden Death?
Nope. They're old enough that they're probably on the list. They've never been reprinted. The reason why the first 4 volumes are not on the list is because volume 1 and 2 have been reprinted. In fact, 2 has been reprinted a number of times, and 3 and 4 are just more recent.
Yeah, I remember 2 came and went. That was the Demon Bear saga, and man, people bought that up.
7 and 8 doesn't surprise me at all either. That's Rob Liefeld coming in with Cable and Deadpool. Like, Liefeld sells. Say what you want about him, but his comics sell. And that era, especially, which the introduction of Cable and Deadpool will always sell, I think. So, no surprise there.
All right, let's move on to the next slide, which is Punisher. Let's see how many are at print now. 3, 4, 5, 7. Kingpin Rules and Jigsaw Puzzle made it to our top 25 last year. I'm pretty sure they'll make it this year, and I'm pretty sure another one will be in our top 25. These are, Curtis, 5, right? And the only one that the other one was reprinted, right?
Yeah, volume 2 got a reprint, which was what can't I remember the name? Circle of Blood.
Yes,
that's what it is.
Novel.
I was trying to think of it too.
Punisher 2 was reprinted recent. Maybe not. It's been a couple years, I think, now that it's been reprinted. But yeah, it was reprinted in 2023, so it's still available apparently. And yeah, volume 3 and volume 4 did make the list. So I think people are always like, we got to have more Punisher. We got to have more Punisher. I think making sure that Punisher is on the reprint list is a good way to let Marvel know that there's interest in this character still.
Yeah, because we got to get down to War Journal, and we need some of the spin-off titles.
Oh man, I want that Warzone and War Journal. I want.
Me too.
I want the crappy ass Suicide Run. I know it's garbage, but I want it.
I want his. What were those issues that were just his weapons? What were those called?
Armory. The Armory issues.
Yeah, the Armory issues.
Those were so cool when I was a kid.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing that Rob Liefeld always told a fun story that he was like, I looked over at Jim Lee and he was doing all his weapons like realistic, like people from the military were always like giving and complimenting how realistic his weapons were. So I was like, I'll have my characters from the future where their weapons can look like anything I want.
Staple guns.
Yeah, so he has like giant sci-fi looking guns.
Let me double check that it's not on the list. New Mutants Volume 1. I'm gonna double check that it's not on the list. It is. It is on the list. Okay, good. So it is out of print. All right.
I need to double check my slides. I apologize.
You're good, man. You're good. Now I know to double check too. All right, Silver Surfer.
I just want to point out that no one's counting Taylor's strikes.
I know they should.
They only do that to Canadians.
They're only counting my strikes.
That's true. Well, you are the epic guy, right? Like, so what's up?
Yeah, I'm just the Jack Kirby guy. If there's a Jack Kirby error on here, you can give me a strike.
New Mutants Volume 1 is out of print. Yep, it is out of print. Epic. I was asked which one, the Omni or the Epic. Never mind, both are out of print. All right, so here we have Silver Surfer 1, 4, 6, 7, 9, and 13. What a popular character. I want to say that we got Thanos Quest and Infinity Gauntlet reprinted in the past, but they're now back out of print. And the thing that they brought back to print was Earth X Alpha. No, it's the Earth X Stories that has the character of Silver Surfer that's going to appear, or is rumored to appear in the movie, the Fantastic Four movie. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you're voting. Like, yeah, a lot of these, man, I didn't realize 6 of them were out of print.
Yeah, Parable and Thanos Quest are great volumes. One is that odd volume that double dips a bunch, but I mean, if you're only collecting Silver Surfer epics, it's very much needed. And we never got. Did we get an announcement or anything for John Buscema Volume 2? The John Buscema run? Not yet. Okay.
Yeah, an Omni. Oh wait. Oh. Sorry. Yes,
in epics,
the Omnibus reprint is coming back out.
Yeah, because volume two, whenever that volume 2 does come out with the John B. Seymour, which I think would probably just have the entire run in just one volume. I think that'll be a popular volume, not only when it first comes out, but I feel like that'll be one that they want to keep in print.
It's in there. I've added it, Trevor.
Yeah, it's my fault, Trevor.
Not a rumor. Shalabal is definitely Silver Surfer in the movie. Yeah, and if you want to know who that Silver Surfer is, read the new printing of Earth X, which I think is coming out in May or April. I can't remember. They couldn't get Norton Rod. He was too busy still trying to take the bad taste out of his mouth from Silver Surfer. What the hell was that? Rise of the Silver Surfer movie. Whoo, that was a bad movie. All right, Star Wars.
There are three slides for this one. Just to warn you.
Gosh, Legends 1, Infinities, Legacy, all 4. Rise of the Sith 2, Tales of the Jedi 1 through 3, Clone Wars 1 through 4. That wouldn't make a nice omnibus. Legends Revealed 1, 2, and Empire. That one's been reprinted, volume 1, but 2 through 6 haven't. New Republic 2, 3, 4, and 6. 5 got a reprint? Is 5? No, that's not the Dark
yeah,
Empire.
I think 5 did it get a reprint? That should be on the list if it's not already. And if it didn't get a reprint, let me just double check that.
Can you double check that one, Curtis? And Old Republic, I know volume 1 got a reprint. You all voted for it, but 2, 3, 4 did not. Star Wars, the original years. I assume these are all of them.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I obviously did put the volume number there, but
it's okay.
Yeah,
were there 6 or 5?
I think it is volume 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 that should be there, but I don't know how many.
Double check the list. What we have on the actual.
We're 6 in total volumes, but I think the 6th one should be still available. It was fairly recent.
And just put in perspective how many have gone out of print the last year. The last year I did the slideshow, there's only 2 slides for Star Wars. Now we have this 3rd slide, so that's how many have already gone out of print just in the last year.
Okay, definitely check on New Republic Volume 5. See if it's on that list, Omar.
Un momentito. Woo! Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, they don't make that's the one thing about these docs. Like they don't make it easy to move things around. It's a pain in the butt. You said New Republic Volume 5?
Yeah.
It's not on there. Are you sure it's out of print?
Well, let me see here.
And as far as the original Marvel years, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 6 is still in print then. Okay, and then the Rebellion 1 through 4. And now we're moving on to Thor. But before we do, Curtis, can you double check New Republic 5? I could have sworn that one came back to print.
Is that a big story in that volume or something?
It's not.
Yeah,
Dark.
well, it's the Dark Empire trilogy.
Is it? I thought that was 4.
No, that's volume 5.
Oh, then that one definitely needs to come back to print if it's out of print.
Yeah, it's out. It should be on the list for sure.
Damn you, Curtis. Okay, I'm adding it. Give me a second. You all talk about Thor. There's a lot of this in here too. So You're saying New Republic Volume 5, right? Okay, I add it to the list.
Yeah, so for Thor, as far as printing, I think we have everything but the Simonson run. Is that correct?
Yes, the Simonson is the big.
Yep, just a couple volumes.
And then this early stuff, I feel like it's been out of print for a long time. I know especially Volume 2 is a popular one that gets asked about a lot.
5 is the big one. I remember.
5 is the big one.
5 is definitely the big one. People are still starting to ask about Volume 6 and 7 a lot as well, and also the Black Galaxy 18. So I think that those ones will be higher up in the list, but especially Volume 5. I'm pretty sure Volume 5 made last year's reprint poll list, and so it should be. Hopefully, it should be on there again this year.
Yeah, and Into the Dark Nebula, has that been reprinted? I feel like that one got a reprint. No? Volume 6?
No. It's never had a reprint before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those early volumes hardly had a reprint except for 2. I think 1 and 2 have had a reprint out of this list before.
Yeah, no.
I don't think 5, 6, and 7 have.
I can't remember. I think volumes 4 and 5 are what are in the Thor Volume 2 omnibus that's not been reprinted as well, because I remember that material was out of print in both Epic and omnibus, and it was frustrating me as a Thor reader. But so I think that might be another thing. I think that content in Volume 5, I think, is just like people are wanting it in any format to be printed again.
And that's why we do these polls. World Engine, baby. Give me that shirtless Thor from the 90s. Wolverine. Whoa. I know that Matterport Knights has been reprinted. Blood and Claws is out of print. That's probably the best Wolverine epic. Inner Fury, The Dying Game, Tooth and Claw, Shadow of Apocalypse, and Blood Debt. That's the Steven Soros era. That is a lot of Wolvie.
As I was going through this, this is me totally being like dumb and too late to the game, but I actually have all these books too, which makes this even more sad. But is the 4-issue run of, or the 4-issue Miller Claremont miniseries not going to be in any of these volumes?
Not unless they do a volume 0.
Because I assumed for the longest time, I was like, oh, it's probably just in that gap. Like it'll be printed eventually, but it would be in volume 1 if it was going to be in any of them, right?
Right. Yeah. No, that stuff comes out before he had a solo title.
Right.
So but this starts with his solo title.
Interesting choice, I guess.
We know that Epics and Omnis are mapped different. We know Wolverine Omnis have the miniseries and they have the Marvel Comics Presents, which are missing from the Epic collections. I'm assuming because Marvel Comics Presents are missing from Epic collections, perhaps one day we'll have a Marvel Comics Presents Epic volumes. I don't know how they'll collect those, whether they'll collect, I assume they'll collect them by stories and not by issue numbers, because that anthology would be a nightmare to collect by issue numbers, and it just wouldn't make any sense. Curtis, has Weapon X been collected from Marvel Comics Presents? It would have belonged in volume 3, right? Blood and Claws, or 4? 3 or no? Yeah, 3. 3. Yeah, that's where I would have put it. But it hasn't, has it?
No, that's not made into Epics either. I assumed that was going to be, because the volume 1 of Wolverine in the omnibus format is an amazing volume because it has that Miller 4-issue series and Weapon X both in there, which are just two of the greatest stories.
In a really obscure place, or Weapon X is in an obscure place.
It is, but just having that in the same volume.
Marvel doesn't really do that. That's more of like that. I like that. I like reading over publishing order, but I understand a majority doesn't. I get it. A majority of people want publishing order is the way that books should be reprinted. And I get
just content wise, though, that volume 1 omnibus has so much great stuff.
Yeah, you start off with 2 of the greatest Wolverine stories, if not the 2 greatest Wolverine stories ever.
I mean, I think Weapon X is maybe one of the greatest Marvel stories ever. I'd put it up there in my top 5.
Now, I don't know if that's because of the way they used to do things, but like you have the current Ghost Rider Epic Collection. I just finished reading it, and that has, but because I think it's part of the crossover with the Siege of Darkness, that has all the Marvel Comic Presents issues in there. And Hummus starts with volume 3, Blood and Claws. Like that is the 31-32. Yeah, it's huge. That's a beautiful volume, man, if you've never read it. Curtis, you all right, buddy?
Yeah. I accidentally hit the sleep button on my keyboard.
How you're feeling? So it's going to be interesting to see how those, if they do like a volume 0, but I don't know if they'll do that or not. I don't know.
Or maybe we'll see something real wacky and they'll remap them.
You mean with reprints later? Oh my god! You know how many people that would
have to be pretty thick volumes.
I know they'd be furious.
X Factor 1, 3, 7, 8 examinations. Probably one of the greatest X Factor comics ever. All new, all different. The Angel of Death, first appearance of Archangel in Genesis and Apocalypse, first appearance of Apocalypse. There is no volume 2, right, Curtis?
No, unfortunately.
Not yet.
Okay.
It's 7.
But, volume 1 has been reprinted before, so it's out of stock again, and people are looking for it. So we'll see how that one fares.
Volume 7 was my number 1 vote last year, and it was also my number 1 vote this year. That's the one that that's the only mutant related epic collection I'm missing right now, is the Strowman Peter David era number 7.
If you're missing Mad Report Nights, go and get it from Hamilton Books. This video is not brought to you by Hamilton Books, but apparently it's on sale for $15. And once it's gone, baby. Man, these are classics. I love every one of these for different reasons. Fall the Mutants, and then of course Apocalypse turning his arms into wings and flying away in that Genesis and Apocalypse, which is so stupid, but sure, whatever.
I think that volume is underrated. People of course Scott Summers is an idiot or whatever, but
let me look. Wolverine Volume 2. Let me see if it's on the list first, and then I'll get back to you, my dude. And if it's not, I'll be happy to add it, but I have to double check if it's out of print. Okay. What is Wolvie 2 called? Anybody know off the hand?
Back to basics.
Back to basics.
Thank you. Okay, I'm checking. And thank God I have somebody that can actually check all 3 places right now. And they're willing to do it on a Sunday. Everyone can vote. They'll share the link at the end of the video. That is right. Yes.
Yes.
So these are the 3 that are, yep, it is officially out of print. So I have to add that. Give me 1 second. Wolverine Volume 2, back to basics, right?
So 1, 2, and 3 are out.
Okay. Back to basics. Here, you all take over for a second, and this
X-Force. So
okay.
X-Force 1 and 2. Volume 1 is what takes place right after New Mutants Volume 8, if you're wanting a chronological order there. It's the beginning of Rob Liefeld kicking off the brand new series of X-Force. And then Executioner's Song is actually also, there's a X-Men Epic Collection that shares the same title, but a little bit different mapping. So those are both 2 huge titles, popular titles. So I'm not shocked that they're out of print.
Yeah, I think those are ones that Marvel loves to reprint this material. It's been in so many different collections, whether it's like Marvel Premier Classics or the Omnibuses, and now these here. So they'll come back eventually. Marvel loves this stuff.
Yeah, most definitely.
And apparently the fans do too.
For sure.
Yeah. This Executioner Song, how is it mapped in the Epic? I gave mine away a long time ago, which I knew I should have kept.
I think there's like 3 or 4 issues that are different between the 2, between X-Force Executioner Song and X-Men Executioner Song.
Executioner Song has
Executioner Song.
Executioner Song has an issue of New Warriors in it.
Yeah, baby. I know which one. That's the one with Derek Robertson. 31, I think. It's the Warpath and Firestar.
31. It also has the Cable Blood and Metal miniseries.
Okay. Does it have the entirety of Executioner Song?
Yes, it has the entire
Executioner
Song. Sweet mother mystery. Okay, that's awesome.
And Cable Blood and Metal, I love that 2-issue series. JR, great stuff.
Yeah, dude. They used the cover for the pinup that JR did for the cover to the new Epic, or not the new Epic, the new trade paperback of Cable. And I was like, oh, that is so good. The new colors and everything looks solid. All right. The Mutants. Not bad compared to a few years ago. Volumes 3, The Sentinels Live. 5, Second Genesis. 6, Proteus. 8, I, Magneto. That's the one I get asked about all the time. 17, Dissolution and Rebirth, which has been printed twice before. 21, Executioner Song. 23, Fatal Attractions. Please let me know if we accidentally left something out.
I just love that they added the to Executioner Song to distinguish the two the 2 epics.
So they do 84 to 86, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, that's a little bit different. Strive, Strike, File.
And I think the X-Men Executioner Song volume has a little bit more X-Men issues after that too.
So Jeremy's saying that volume 2 is out of print, and
yeah, I think volume 2 should be on the list. It's never had another printing. I think that's an oversight for sure.
Okay. Yeah, it's not on the actual reprint poll list either, so I'm gonna add that. What is the name of that one?
Only Are the Hunted.
You sure that never had a reprint?
If it did, it was a long time ago.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
I know Ford has got reprinted recently. It's Always Darkest Before the Dawn.
Yeah.
And then one's got a reprint. One got a reprint recently too.
I think it's at 3 printings. I could have sworn Lonely Are the Hunted got reprinted a couple of years ago, Curtis. But it could be out of print again. So Yeah,
Volume 3 got a reprint a number of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think Volume 2 did.
2016. Maybe a restock. That was on the last year's reprint poll. Okay. And that's all, folks. That's it. You can go home. Just kidding. We are going to kick this off live, baby. So we are going to see. Let me refresh this, and then I'm going to show you how to vote, and then I'm going to kick it off live so you can vote right now if you want to. But I need to see if these books that I added on here successfully made it to the final cut. So give me 1 second. Was there an Amazing Spider-Man book that I had to add, or was it? Oh, God,
no, you said they're both on there.
What was the book that I added? Hulk? Did I add a Hulk book?
Hulk Crossroads Volume 13.
Thank you. That's the one I'm going to look for.
Yeah.
Okay, it's in there, and I'm going to look for the X-Men books because those were the last two I added. And again, if you see something on the list, as much as I don't want to add it, I'll add it. All right, let's see. Wolverine. Lonely Hunter Hunted. Oh, I see. I did something wrong. Just a second. Let me fix this. And then we can get
this
started.
is exactly why we have the stream, so we make sure the poll is all nice and beautiful and ready to go for you guys.
Yeah. Sure, this doesn't mean anything. You're just really excited to vote, which I get it.
We should make a note too while you're trying to figure that out, that these votes are weighted. So whatever you put at number 1 will carry more weight than what you put at number 5. So make sure that you put your first choice. Oh, go ahead.
Axel says change the name of Thor Volume 5.
To what?
Fall of Asgard.
It is. Oh, was it not on the slideshow?
Thor Volume 5? I'm not sure.
Yeah, Thor.
Just scroll up on the list here just to make sure.
I am. It says the Fall of Asgard.
Oh, okay.
At least on the voting poll does. All right, give me 1 second. I am double checking one more thing, and then we can go live. Smash that like button while you're here, please. That means the world to us. And thank you again to Taylor for putting the slideshow together, and Curtis for always joining me for this shenanigans with Epic Collections. Thank you all for being patient too. All right, I am going to show you how to vote. It's really simple. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it live. Yep. And I'm going to, first of all, go back to the beginning here so I can share my screen. Okay. So, back here, sharing screen. So, randomguy@gmail.com. So, the very first thing is you're going to go to this website. I'm going to put it in the link of the video here in the description of the video. You'll have to refresh, okay? All right. So, you go to that website and you sign in. You put your email address. Please, 1 vote per person. And then you vote. And as Taylor said earlier, it is weighted voting. So your first choice will get the most points. Your second choice will get the second most points. You all are smart. You've done this before, but in case you haven't, you're also smart. You know how weighted voting works now. So your fourth choice will get your 4th amount of points. And then, of course, your 5th choice. And then I'll delete this one, by the way, because it's just some email address that I put in. Go all the way down to the bottom. This is the most important thing you have to do. Is you hit next, and then I guess the untitled section. Oops, I don't know what that is. Untitled section. Clear selection. Let's see what happens if we don't leave that. I thought we had tried this before. I know one of you voted. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you end. Did you have that untitled section?
That wasn't there when I voted.
It's weird. And this is optional. You can put your name or not. Doesn't matter. Never. But we do need this. We need this.
You should have made your guy Magnetomar.
That is true. I should have, but
at gmail.com.
I'm not. So submit. Does it do this? Maybe it's because I'm using something else. Oh my God.
Was that a tractor? It's a tractors. It was like
tractors. Your response has been recorded. So then I go to my spreadsheet and I'm like, oh, hey, my response was recorded. There are. Hold on a second. No, it is. Yeah, it's my response. Holy crap. This did it quick. It did it live. You all have that link, right? Curtis?
To the poll itself?
Yeah. To edit the poll. So you guys can see exactly what as we're doing it live. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to leave a link in the description of the video. It says Marvel Epic Reprint Poll. You're watching this live right now. You go down there and you click on that link. That's it. Get to voting. You got 7 days to vote, and we're going to see how the voting goes as we're watching it live. We'll see the responses come in live. So get to voting, everybody. Refresh your screen if you're watching now. You're watching this live, and thank you so much for being here. All right. Vote for the way you want to vote. And thank you want to make sure for putting it out there. The Marvel Omnibus reprint poll, I announced it earlier, and my brain is fried. I can't remember. I think it's April 14th, 6 p.m. Eastern time is when we're kicking it off. You'll have 7 days for this one. Again, 7 days. And I don't know why I'm holding up 10 fingers. 7 days. Meaning the poll will close again, if you're watching, next Sunday, April 6th, end of day. I think 10 p.m. Eastern time is when we're doing. You missed everything. Rewind. All right. Our answers
shortly after the poll closes, Omar will come out with this video of the results.
Yes. Guys, I'm not getting any responses. Are y'all getting responses?
I'm not seeing anything yet. Do you see any responses at all? Like my when I voted earlier, is that on there?
Dude, I don't even see your response. We could have been, or we might be having technical difficulties, maybe. Of course. Curtis, you see anything on your end?
I don't see any responses other than random guy.
Which is me. So why isn't this working?
Well, maybe people are still deciding.
Man,
but I definitely voted yesterday, though, so I don't know why that's not.
I just see somebody else's votes. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to rush.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Maybe it's because it's catching up. Okay, there you go. Thank you so much.
Do I need to vote again? Why isn't mine on there?
I don't know why. Oh, because we cleared it. Remember? Because I wanted a clear slate. I'm actually going to wipe mine out. So get to voting, everybody. And
so I'll vote again then.
Yes. And I just, again, want to thank my wonderful co-host. Thank again, James, for putting the Epic Collection poll together, making it easier for you all, because before he came around, oh, man, it was a bit of a nightmare. So, yeah, thank you, James. And, of course, thank you to our other James Abel, for keeping an eye on everything. Right now, the most votes for Sally Shell Seashores by the Seashore. People are taking that answer seriously. All right. And I'll give you all a little bit of preview as to how the responses are doing, like what's winning so far. But I want at least 100 responses before we end the stream today. Curtis, did you vote, or do you care? Do you care, Curtis?
Well, I'm waiting for someone to buy my votes from me.
Shut, Curtis! You Canadians are awful. Yes, enjoying. Yes, please smash that like button. I just voted. I wonder what Phil voted for. Nothing but Venom, I'm sure. Voted. Great. Go spread the word, too. Let others know how they can vote. Try not to buy people's votes, please. Because at the end of the day, really, that ends up hurting everybody if Marvel doesn't sell these books because you voted 100 times for Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Sergeant Fury, sorry. I'll also be voting for the quad volumes to get reprinted. What quad volumes do we have left, Curtis, to get reprinted?
The only one that hasn't been reprinted yet is Hulk Volume 3, The Leader Lives. All of the other ones have had new printings. Whether or not they're still in print, I don't know.
Curtis, do I pay you in USD or Canadian to buy your votes?
Absolutely USD. Because the exchange rate is fantastic. Coming in my way.
Oh, Omar, Star Wars New Republic Volume 5 is not there. Mother of God! You are making it so easy. Let me see. Are you sure it's not there? Let me double check. I thought I added it. Un momentito. Star Wars New Republic. Hold on a second, brother. 4-6. I know I added it. I did add it. It's underneath. No. Oh my God. Hold on a second. Star Wars New Republic. Let me do a search. Let me do a search, and then I'll have you refresh. Hold on a second. Questions. Okay. Oh my gosh. Republic. Let me double check. Where in the world is it? Sorry, I was trying to make this easier, but what it does is once you add it, it adds it to the bottom. So then you have to manually move it up, and it is a nightmare to move up because one little thing you do wrong, it'll scatter everything about. So I'll tell you, give me a second. I'll tell you when to refresh for that New Republic, Volume 5. Wonder why I wasn't in there. Curtis and Taylor.
Yes.
What do you think the top 5 books will be this year?
I think we're going to see.
I think it'll be Spider-Man Volume 7. I think that'll top the list again. It seems to always do that.
I feel like X-Men I Magneto probably will too, especially with the recent announcement from you guys that we're going to get 2 more Claremont era X-Men epics. I feel like that'll just get that hype going even more for Claremont era X-Men.
I think we'll see Thor 5 out there, and some Hulk ones, like I said, 2, 3, or 4.
All right, I have. Oh my god. Was New Republic? Are there New Republics out of print too?
It's like all of them are out of print almost.
Okay, I need to move something now. He wanted New Republic 5, right?
Yeah.
Added. Okay. And I am going to let you know.
Is there a big Star Wars volume, Curtis, that you hear about that people talk about needing to be reprinted?
A lot of the New Republic ones in general.
Oh, okay.
New Republic Volume 5 with Dark Empire is right up there, the ones that people are always talking about. Other than that, Infinities is one that people seem to want a lot that hasn't been in print for a while. So Infinities might crack the top 25.
All right, it's there, my guy. Who was asking for it? I can't remember.
Flying Puppet Comics.
Flying Puppets. Thank you. Yes, go refresh. It's there now. Wait, Warren voted on epics? Top of the list will be Faster Horses. What is Harvey P. Carsco's talking about now? If Amazing Spider-Man 7 always tops the list, why is it not being reprinted? Because it topped the list last year.
Well, it is being reprinted, actually. It's been reprinted a number of times already. It just keeps on selling. And so then when the poll runs around, it's already out of stock. And so it gets to the top of the list again.
Yeah, because to Omar's point, when they reprint these, the reprint is a smaller print run. So they sell out quickly, especially if it's a more popular title like that. So just keep in mind, if you're trying to prioritize your epic purchases, maybe go for the reprinted material.
And remember, vote for what you need.
Yes.
For what everybody else wants.
Yes,
vote
because this poll only works as if people are buying the volumes that get reprinted. If Marvel reprints Sergeant Fury 1 and nobody buys it, then they're going to not trust this poll as much.
Captain America 11 isn't on there? Wait. Did we? Okay, is that something new? Give me a second. I need to double check if it's actually out of print or not. It's not on there. Let me know if you guys.
Volume 11 is Strumen Drong.
Oh, of course, it's the easy one. Wait, no, that one got a reprint, didn't it?
Yeah, they got a reprint. I remember that one.
I don't think that one was reprinted.
I remember you and I having a hard time saying it.
Yeah,
oh, wait.
That was when we were first announcing it. It didn't come out that long ago.
What volume is that?
11.
Sturm
und Drang.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for signing it out, Curtis. That helped me not at all.
My best German there, everybody.
I remember when we got to announce it, I was like, you're doing this one, dude. I'm not taking. All right, I'll add it. it is officially out of print. Give me a minute. That one's going to take a minute because I got to go all the way to the top. Oh, God bless you for pointing that out. Captain America Volume 11. Okay. Okay. Just a second.
Curtis, when you were, because I know you have all the epics, when you were first trying to collect all of them, was there a certain volume you had to track down, or were you buying them as they came out anyways?
When I started collecting the Epic collections, it was pretty early on. The first volume that I bought that was new off of the shelf was Ant-Man, Giant Man Volume 1, and that was Man in the Anthill. That was June of 2025. So the line started in 2023. I jumped on in 2025, and
no,
at that point,
didn't. This is 2025, Curtis.
Sorry. The line started in 2013, and I jumped on in 2015 with the volume Ant-Man, Giant Man. That was the first one. So I had to track down the ones before that, and the only one that was out of print at the time was Captain America, Dawn's Early Light. And I had to track that one down. Unfortunately, I found it at a comic shop that had it. But that was it. The rest of them were easily available. And I wasn't collecting the Star Wars ones at the time. So there was a point when I decided, okay, I better jump on Star Wars. And I had to find like maybe 15 of them or something like that. But at that point, they were all still easily obtainable. So I'm fortunate that I was an early onboarder in all of this. I can't imagine if you're just starting to jump into Epic collections now, today in 2025, and it's like, there are how many out of print volumes are there? Why do I even bother starting?
Yeah, I can't, because I jumped in a little bit later than that. But
there's 209 volumes officially out of print right now.
Wow.
My advice is always just to pick certain lines rather than try to collect them all at once. Like pick certain lines and collect those as they come out. And then when you complete that line, you can open up a new line that you're trying to collect.
My advice is to collect them all.
Well, I mean,
collect every single line. Don't listen to me. Don't take my advice. I've been collecting these since day one. I was really excited about them. They were a really nice, they announced the Enemy Within, and I was like, oh yeah, man, I got the Michelini Omnibus now. That happens right afterwards. Oh, they're at that time we thought, oh, they're actually taking into consideration what the Omnis have and what they don't have. Of course, things are so different nowadays. I remember they were only doing 4 Epic collections, and then they expanded to 6 lines. And I remember, was it Jeff York? I can't remember who it was. One of the editors went into the Marvel Masterworks forum and was like, look, we're going to focus on just 6 line. We're not doing X-Men. They didn't want to start doing everything as epics. And holy crap, they must have sold like hotcakes because, well, you all know.
It's amazing too. I think the coolest thing is that you can tell that Marvel has a plan for all these lines to the point that Curtis and some guys on the Epic Facebook group have predicted what volumes contents will be for volumes that haven't even been announced. It's just so cool that you have that kind of confidence in the publisher that these will be printed eventually. I think that's one thing that makes the line
200 on the list. That's right. 200 on the list, and you only get 5 votes. Absolutely. Yeah. Because if I give you 20 votes, it doesn't matter, right? Because it matters what the majority wants. And I only give them the top 20, especially this year. I won't be sending in the top 25 because last year they still need to catch up with the books from last year. And I'm sure a lot of the books. Okay, I'll tell you what. If every single book from last year makes it into the list this year, I'll send them the top 25 just so they know, there are other books that people want.
Yeah, because it sounds like
11 out of your votes.
It sounds like what you're saying is that Marvel's looking at both the remaining ones from last year and this list. So,
All right, how do we vote? And I've shown already, but in case you go to the website that's on the link of the video, you go scroll down and you put your email address in, randomguy@gmail.com, right? And you pick 5 votes. You get 5 votes, weighted voting. So your first choice is the one with the most votes. Second choice, second most votes. You get the idea. And you scroll all the way to the bottom, just like this. And you scroll all the way to the bottom. I need to delete my random guy vote. And you go to next. And I don't know why you have to click that option for some reason, option 1, and then answer this question. You do have to answer the question. Name is optional, and then you hit submit. That's it. That's all you need to do. I think you should change it to top 10 next time. I will see how this goes first. I know for Omnis it's been 10 because there's a lot of Omnis that are out of print, but I'll think about that next time. Still holding ground for a Darkhawk Epic Collection, as am I. Omar, can I vote for the same book 5 times? No, you cannot. As much as I want you to. But that's it. That's how you vote. That's all you do. Let me see. Where are we at now, Curtis, with the number? Oh, we got over 142 responses. Let me see what's going on with the... What is leading? Amazing Spider-Man 3. Who said that was going to be the big one?
Is it 7?
Dude, 3 is better than 7.
3 is good.
3, that's when
that's
JR...
right now, right? Like, that's right now. I'm sure things are going to be different later.
3, that's when Ramita jumps on the book, too. That's good stuff.
Looks like there's going to be a lot of Spider-Man and a lot of X-Men on this list.
So far, that one, 3, is doing big. Avengers West Coast 3, but at any time this can change, by the way. You know, this changes all the time. I forgot that it resets every time somebody votes. So doing it live is kind of a pain in the butt. That's okay.
Magneto's doing really well.
Yeah, Magneto, Avengers West Coast 3 is doing really well, but we'll see. We'll see how it ends up, though. That what matters is what ends up at the very, very end. And again, you have 7 days to vote. Voting ends next Sunday. So please remember that. What's the best cap? What's the one that's... Oh, Fantastic Four. Can you get there, Curtis? What's the best Fantastic Four? Every time somebody votes, I get reset.
Looks like The Name is Doom. Volume 5 is doing well for Fantastic Four, as well as The Master Plan of Doctor Doom, which got a reprint recently.
Okay, so Avengers Epic Collection Taking Aim is out of print. Excalibur. Derek just emailed me. I can add these, Derek. Morbius Epic Collection. Did you have Morbius in there, Curtis or Taylor?
No, I didn't.
I'm pretty sure that both Morbiuses are still obtainable.
But if they're out of print, he's looking at all 3 distributors.
Ooh.
So I actually have to check. Let me check. Circle Blood, I think, is still obtainable through the distribution. I'll double check, Derek. I got your email, brother. Thank you so much, man. That's a lot of work you did. You didn't have to. Man, I cannot get to the Fantastic Four like I'm trying to. Can you get there, Curtis?
So
wait.
Results?
Yeah, I just want to see what's winning of the Fantastic Four since there were so many. Volume 2 is winning.
The Volume 2 is doing well. The Name is Doom is doing well. Volume 5.
Ghost Rider 1 seems to be doing pretty good. And what is this one here? Iron Man 10. Thor 5. Not a lot of Star Wars. I'm surprised Star Wars isn't doing better. But then again, the Star Wars heads could come in at any moment. Or Thor 18, Wolverine. Not a lot of X Factor. That surprises me. X-Men 2. Wow, X-Men 2 is doing big. And X-Men 8. Holy, yeah, that definitely is going to make it. Just seeing early numbers. Yeah, those are the early polls. And Amazing Spider-Man 3. Oh my gosh, you guys keep adding to that. That's crazy. Okay, good on you all. Now, that is it. That's how we kickstarted this. Good luck, everybody. I hope the book you want makes it on this list. I will announce the top 20, depending on how many books make it, on Friday. April 11th. I'll be at C2E2, but that video will air April 11th. And again, the reprint poll ends on April 6th, Sunday, April 6th. Thank you all so much. Seriously. Thank you for joining us. This officially kicks off our reprint poll season. So the next one will be the Marvel reprint, Omni reprint poll, then the Marvel Most Wanted, then the DC Omni and Absolute reprint poll, and the DC Most Wanted Omnis. And still on the fence about Image. I'll have to contact them to see if they're okay with that. Yeah. But before I leave, where can people find you two wonderful folks that helped me today?
You can find me over at Taylor Talks Comics on all social media platforms. You can find me there. Like I said on my YouTube channel today, I dropped my top 10 favorite Epic Collection volumes ever. So check out that video. And then also, I'm the NMC social media guy. So I run all those accounts as well.
Yeah, more than likely you're talking to Taylor if you're sending us messages. All right. And Curtis, where can people find you, buddy?
Just search up Epic Collections on social media, and you'll probably find me there. There's an Epic Collection Facebook group that you might want to join, where we talk about Epic Collections all the time, and you can bet that we will be talking about this poll as well.
Yes, so please let others know that we're doing this for a week. I hate for anybody to miss it a day late and go, oh man, I forgot to vote this year and I need 5 books. So everybody stay healthy and safe, and good luck. Good luck. Have a great day.